Plaintiff Chloe Thompson says her first openly gay relationship was with the defendant, and soon after they started dating, the defendant and her child moved in with Chloe. Chloe's suing because after the defendant got arrested for outstanding tickets, Chloe bailed her out, but she has yet to be repaid. Defendant Natasha Davis admits that her relationship with Chloe moved fast, and 2 weeks after they got together, she got Chloe's name tattooed on her hands. Natasha says although Chloe bailed her out of jail, Natasha thought she did it because they were dating.
Prove your case.
I would like to first thank you for having me here, and also thank you for being understanding and accepting the gay community, just like with the different bullying and different things like that. It's just really hard to come out and be gay. Natasha was my first open gay relationship. The first person I told was my mom. She was very upset when I first told her. I sent her a text and was like, well, I don't want you to be mad or treat me any different. And then she sent me a text back and was like, you're with that girl. She knew about Natasha. And I was like, yeah. Then after that, she did treat me a little different because she works for a church. And so she was almost embarrassed at what the people would think in the church. But then eventually she came around, and I love her for that. But then I still to this day have family and friends who haven't talked to me. And, 2 years ago, this is when I came out. And just with that, you just need to be confident in who you are as, being gay and coming out. So I just want to thank you for that.
All right. I'm glad you recognize my efforts to eliminate discrimination in sexual orientation, because ain't nothing to be an advocate for.
Yep.
I mean, everybody's the same. So, no, you don't need an advocate. You need to stop people from being discriminatory. Those are two different things. Like, During the woman suffrage movement, when women were trying to get the right to vote, during the civil rights movement, when blacks were trying to make sure they had the right to vote, they didn't need an advocate for it. They need to fight against discrimination.
Right.
So that's what I'm about. And people a lot of times are just ignorant. They're ignorant to the understanding of sexual orientation. They're ignorant as to how they should respond. They're ignorant as to whether it is something that they should pass judgment on. It's like, I get these folks in here all the time talking about, I had 2 women in the bed. Or I had 2 with me, my girlfriend, and I had another girl. Well, nobody discriminating against you. Nobody calling you a nasty freak. So, you know what I mean? So, go ahead. I'm glad that you recognize that, and I'm glad we have a moment to educate people about that.
Thank you.
So tell me about your background with your former girlfriend.
Natasha and I went to high school together. We had lost contact after high school. I graduated in 2005, so that was about 4 years. And we reconnected on Facebook. We wrote each other and was like, well, let's go out to a club. So we went out to a club, and then after that, she came home and never left. And then after that, like 2 weeks, she has a daughter. Then she moved the baby in 2 weeks. And everything was okay, I thought.
And what happened?
She had got locked up in January. My friend had came down from Kansas City, and we were driving her truck, and she had improper plates. And so we had got pulled over, and then the cop ran our names. He ran everybody in the truck. And Natasha had warrants for different municipalities. She had like 9 municipalities that she needed.
9?
Yes, sir.
She went on tour?
Yes, sir. I actually did. My mother gave me a car when I graduated high school, and just being a teenager, riding it around and never going to the DMV to pay to get the plates, and I actually accumulated tickets within 9 different municipalities.
Go ahead. So
when she got locked up, me and my friend went back to the house with the baby and her brother. And then from there, she had called and told me the different municipalities that she needed to go to. So I called each municipality to get the bond amounts. And from there, I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I don't really have the money I was working, I had the baby. I didn't really have anybody to help keep the baby, and I didn't want to push her off on anybody. Usually my mom helped keep her, but she had to work too. So I eventually ended up having to resign from my job. And then my mom, I asked my mom to borrow some money, and then I asked my best friend to borrow the money. And then they gave me the money. I ended up paying them back in February. Natasha got out late January, and so she was supposed to get her taxes in February, and she was supposed to start paying me back. I don't care if it was like $5 a month, as long as you're showing that you're
Total amount was what?
The full amount was $3,800.
Oh, okay. She hasn't paid you a dime?
She left the house for a while, and then when she came back,
back broke.
Upset road.
On the road again. All right. Let me hear from you, ma'am. Anything you want to tell me, and then about the loan.
Like she said, we met back up on Facebook. I went out to the club with her, and we went to her house, and the relationship did move really quickly. I actually got this tattoo of her name and this C here, and it was only about
How long?
2 weeks.
2 weeks after meeting her, you had her name tattooed onto you.
Yes, sir.
And see, now you have to deal with that unless you all reconcile. You're going to have to walk around like that. You're not going to get any new action because they're going to want to know, why is he in there? You need to go to her then.
Yeah.
You're definitely not going to get any more money out the next woman like you did her, because she's going to tell you to go back to her. Go back to that woman that you got your, they ain't going to say woman. She's going to say, go back to that so-and-so whose name you have carved on your hand. I'm just telling you.
I understand.
All right.
It's gonna come around, and like she said, it was kind of a secrecy thing with me and her as far as her family went. My family didn't necessarily accept it, but they accepted me, and there was no like grudges or anything against me. I had a few cousins, family members, come out to me and be like, it's okay. We love you anyway. You don't have to be ashamed to come around us. So then that made me bring her around, and it made me feel a little more comfortable about it. And like she said, we ended up getting pulled over on the way to the club. We actually pulled out of our apartment complex and make a left, and the police are behind us. And before, she wasn't going to make a left. She was going to go to the right. And I'm like, no, go the way we were going. Go the way we were going. You don't want to draw any unnecessary
Let's
attention.
get to this going to jail.
So I got locked up immediately. They ran everyone's name in the car. I was the only one with warrants. I went to St. Anne jail, which is the county that I lived in. I did call her, not gonna lie, I did call her, like, I can't be in here. I need help. I need you to get me out. And she made some phone calls and got me out. And I guess
you have to spend money?
Yes.
Oh, it was more than phone call.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, it was. And
did you agree to repay her?
Yes, I did.
So what's your defense today?
Honestly, the only defense that I have is that I just felt as though, since we were together, that she wouldn't really make me pay it back. I guess I thought it was jail talk.
Jail talk. That's right.
Yeah.
They promise everything behind the bars. Mama, I swear I'm gonna change, Mama. I'm gonna quit doing this. I'm gonna quit doing that.
I thought it was a little bit of that, and like she said, I did end up getting taxes back, and I left and went to stay with my family for a little while.
You came back broke.
Yes. Sir. Yes, sir.
And you let her back?
No, we broke up after that.
Right.
No.
That's not saying let her back with money in her hand. That's you're supposed to let her back. She left out with money in her hand. You had to come back in with money in your hand. You're going to have money in your hand today because your judgment is $3,800.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm kind of just relaxing, enjoying being single. I don't know what she's up to, but I'm fine.
I'm glad that I don't have to deal with it anymore. Just the expenses was a lot.
Yep. Don't have to deal with it. Glad it's over with so we can go our separate ways.
I just wish it would have ended different. We had a really good relationship. I wish we could have ended as friends. Very much so.